Drink it in, man.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Cornbread! Cornbread! Cornbread!
Drink it in, man.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
That's a big reason why I think this is Trayvon right here. The pick is in, Choppy. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it was pretty well out there that, you know, the owner wanted Trayvon, but there were some other people in the organization, you know, head coach, GM that had other ideas. So who's going to win the battle of the wills? The pick is in.
And that's what I was saying. Is that like most people don't know who Tony Khan is, but I'm saying that it would be surprising if he doesn't go with an upside analytical play and goes for the safe pick. So take Trayvon so we could take Hutch. Come on, Choppy. Let's do this.
See, this is really should be showing Brad Holmes and Dane Campbell just licking their chops, like ready to go.
Rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, let me see them big old meat hooks just slapped together.
Working the
table. Ready to go.
Making a few calls, checking in, seeing what Mr. Spielman might have to say. I agree.
Yep.
All right, we're waiting for the commish. He's milking it. He's waiting.
Yeah, they're singing "Sweet Caroline" here. They're showing the costumes. All the Jaguar faithful who sucked for 20 years. I mean, who are hoping to get moved to Europe. I mean, they're trying to get the team back on track.
The London Jags. Come on. Come on, hey, anybody but Hutch.
Hey, you know, what do you think about their new coach, Doug Peterson?
I've never been a big fan of the Eagles either, but I mean, he did some good things. Here we go. The pick is in.
Announced in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Trayvon, come on, take him. Take Tibbs for all I care.
With the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker.
Yes!
There
yes!
It is.
Woo!
There
Here we go.
So let's check out the fam cam.
Trayvon is gone.
Number one pick, Trayvon Walker. Wow.
Just flew off the charts. Wow.
The first overall
wow.
pick in the
I didn't believe it till I just heard it, but it happened.
And he is the first Georgia.
All right, Oakrey.
Hutch. Give him to me.
Oh. Let's hear it. There he is, hugging his moms. Oh, gotta love the moms.
To me, this is a big Holmes moment now, right? Because Holmes could easily do what he wants to do and
when you're in this division with Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor,
make another pick and justify it of like, you got to trust me. I know what I'm doing. I mean, but I think you cannot lose right now with the fan base, with football, by taking Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan.
All right, I'm officially putting this in the queue here. Your pick, Aiden Hutchinson, live on the clock.
Yes.
Edge.
Give him to me.
Michigan.
Give him to me. I'm trying to work my way through all the DTO scouting offices here. I got some of these done already because I was hoping for it. So we got Trayvon to Jacksonville with the first overall pick.
Trayvon to Jacksonville. The sheet is up. It is live. Trayvon is off the board. Edge has been selected. Oh, baby.
Come on,
Hutch. Is in. I mean, they weren't even on the
Run it up. Run it up to the podium. We know who it is. Taking Aiden Hutchinson.
Wow. I mean, did they even show a clock? All I just saw was the flip over to clock. The pick is in.
process. They're on the clock.
The Lions have been classic of running it up, but this is when you run it up.
Walker suffered a serious scare. Sources tell me and Tom Pelissero that he was in a car accident running into 2 parked cars.
What?
In Athens, somehow emerged unscathed, no injuries,
Who?
no citation.
Trayvon.
Scare for sure.
Oh my gosh, Trayvon! What are you doing, bro?
Stay in your house, bro.
He can afford to buy himself a new car.
Until you sign that contract.
The first overall pick in this draft. Do you think this is Aiden Hutchinson coming up here?
Aiden Hutchinson ran fast at the combine. I think they ran that card up even faster. I mean,
let's go.
Let's go.
Hutch. Has to be the hometown guy in Aiden Hutchinson.
Woo.
That's the post-it that Sonny Weaver Jr. had that you were a draft day. Aiden Hutchinson, no matter what.
Well, we'll find out. The Michigan Wolverine from the Legacy family, his dad, Chris Hutchinson, we saw him earlier.
It's so crazy, the ups and downs. Like, it went from Hutch will be there till he definitely won't be there, and it came back to he will, maybe, and now it's happening, Joppy.
Overall selection in this draft, it's time to hear it from Roger Goodell.
Yes! Say it!
Go, Raj. Come on, Raj.
Hutch!
With the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes! Woo!
Oh, baby!
Oh, baby!
Oh, just fantastic. Oh, give me some Hutch, baby. Oh, baby!
Yes.
Oh, just great. Just great. You can't go wrong, man. Can't go wrong. The hometown kid, so happy.
Money.
This is going to change
so
with
happy,
Aiden
dude.
Hutchinson. He is
So
a
happy.
polished professional pass rusher. He can beat you with
Such a
speed,
clean
he can beat you with
prospect.
power. He's going to get a handful of them
Such
just
a
purely off
hard
the maniacal
worker.
effort that he plays with, Charles.
And this is more than just what you're getting with all of that as well.
Just tell him to go get the quarterback.
Continue to talk about their culture,
get him.
changing their locker room, changing the forces that are there in Detroit.
Oh.
And I get this sense.
Man, I got a big like weight lifted off my shoulders, man. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. Looking so good in that fly hat. Oh, he's happy.
All black with a buttoned, unbuttoned shirt. That's how you show up.
You think going number 2 when he thought he was going number 1 won't be in his journal as well? Give this guy a little extra motivation.
There it
Here's
is.
a guy that doesn't need any motivation, but he's got another chip on his shoulder. This guy is violent. He is passionate. He is a game changer. We can't
Chip on his shoulder.
All right, let's go to the tape here and show you
The
why
thing I
he's
love
top
about him
here in
too
this
is that
year's
he
draft class.
embraces being that guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just a
Let's
loudmouth.
watch the tape, folks. Let's watch the tape.
Turn the tape on.
Watch his takeoff right here. Get your hands
Let's watch him make it that D end is big.
Oh, get
look at
off
that.
me.
Set the tackle and yep, just rips
Let
him
me
up.
cue
Oh,
up
hey,
the
Iowa.
sound bite. Let me skew up the sound bite because you know what's coming. I got my finger on the button when they show it. Nope, not yet. Long arm him, get off the blocks, make the tackle. He's also better in the run than Tibbs.
Yep. Reading the option, bam, making the quarterback pay.
Show the game. Oh yeah, they love it.
There's the room, baby. There's the room.
That's fired up.
And then, of course, he is the highest drafted defensive player out of Michigan.
I was waiting for the highlight where he puts, you know, the old left tackle from that school that we shall not speak of on his ass.
Hey, listen, Ohio State sucks.
Delivered by Pizza Hut. Take it away. Melissa Scott.
You and I Ohio State is vanquished.
Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach, had your number on speed dial.
Here we go.
Could this be a more perfect fit for you?
No, it's great. I'm happy I get to go back to Detroit, go back to Motor City, hopefully win some ball games and you know, get back to winning. I'm fired up. It's made a great decision.
They're hoping you win some ball games too. All right, you showed me earlier on the red carpet the inside of your suit jacket. Can you show everyone here and explain what's written inside?
So inside the suit jacket, my mom made it. It is all my visualizations and manifestations from all my journaling the past 5 years. And we put it on both sides of the jacket. Stuff like I'm going to be a first-team All-American. I'm going to be a Heisman finalist. And, you know, a lot of that stuff came true. So it's my beliefs about myself.
It was sort of hard to read, but there are many, many journals for 5 years over that. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Rich.
All right.
Well spoken, ready to go.
Former Silver Dome
Woo!
right in there in that jacket.
Oh, baby. So happy.
Aiden Hutchinson. They just moved up from 32.
Here we go.
Minnesota,
what?
An NFC North.
What? The Lions went from 32 to 11?
That's got to be a quarterback.
You think?
Wait, 11?
Making calls to teams
or no, after this, they traded with the Vikings. Up to 12.
First.
No.
In the 2022 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Chris Olave.
There he is. Olave.
Ohio State.
Choppy, we just traded to 12. I don't care what the Saints did. What?
From 32?
So, yeah,
what?
Forget, Michael Thomas is coming back this year, and now Olave and Thomas.
Is it official?
Will be there with Kamara.
They just said an NFC North trade, so we traded with the Vikings too. I gave up 32 and 34 to get up there, and something. Haven't gotten exactly what they wanted from him during that time. And you're looking at it, you're like, you know, Gordon Davis, they could be in love with. They could be in love with Malik. It could be Hamilton. If they love Hamilton.
Oakley, what did I tell you?
Yeah,
use an asset this year and next year to get up to get your guy.
I don't like it.
Well, you need to calm down and get on board. Let's find out what the details are, buddy.
And major picks, but
chillax.
They're going to get a good player, but
they're going to get a stud.
Who do you want? I got to make this pick now.
I want to see the terms here in a second. I'm hoping they'll show before they put us on the clock.
DJ said it throughout this draft process, and he is on target. They are not thinking about rebuilding. They're thinking we're there right now, and we're still trying to win. How many times have they beaten Tampa?
They beat Tampa 4 straight times in the regular season.
Lions trade up.
So they're confident
it's out there.
They can win this division. That's why they wanted a couple key players. Chris Olave is going to be one
Jermaine
of those
Johnson is still out there on defense, but we just took Hutch.
Silky smooth. Everything he does is
gotta look at this board. I'm not even fucking ready right now.
You know who this is.
Get a little bit stronger, a little more physical, especially with the ball in his hands.
You know who this is,
but here he
is. I don't see it being Malik. I don't.
You know who this is, Oak.
He can really go get
Jameson Williams.
We're now picking at 12. I'm changing it up.
Jameson Williams.
And get a nice move on him on a comeback to finish. Here he is down in the red zone. Again, watch the head. Just the subtleties of the route running. That's where you see the polish.
The pick is in. So they traded up. They know who they want. I am going for the Lions to go with my pick of Hutch.
Made a bunch of big plays. I remember him getting on the field against Michigan as a freshman. I think Joel Klatt might have been there, him blocking a punt. Just making plays.
You got to make it before they make it. Say it.
And the wide receivers.
That's some time.
Both of them off the board already, Rich.
As you could see, we've seen this before. Ted Ginn and Anthony Gonzalez.
Tweeting it out.
In 07. Wide receivers from Columbus being picked in the
Look at who's around him, Oak.
Michael Thomas.
Look at who's around him.
At Can't Guard Mike.
Who's coming up next?
Let's run it. And he doesn't mean the football. He means you know what I mean, like the offense. Kurt Warner, take it away.
All right, I tell you what, guys, I love this.
What pick is this? 12.
For any quarterback is when a defense can
they're at 12.
Downhill, meaning you don't have the guy that can really stretch the field.
This is
groundbreaking,
Oak. Ground breaking. Do they move? I think it's Kyle Hamilton.
That's what I'm mulling over right now. I'm trying to remember. So this is the Oakley pick. So this is who I would take.
So here's the deal. All right, Oakley's going on record. I'm saying this pick is to get Kyle Hamilton. Okay, he's in the right spot. He's at 12. He's come down. Yep. They traded an asset for him. They're taking Kyle Hamilton. Choppy. If I had to take this pick based on who's on the board right now.
You both told me earlier you don't look at mock drafts. You didn't care where you went.
Copy. I'm going with for the Oakley on the clock.
What does this mean to you?
Hit me.
Because I feel like I don't know what the compensation is, but I assume we have other picks still and have that there are other safeties.
Michael Thomas, how can you compliment him? What do you bring to New Orleans?
He's one of the best.
Who would you take, Oak?
No, I'm about to spit it out, but I'm thinking.
Jeez, O'Keefe, man.
And this has to go with my Hutch, is what I'm doing, because like I got Hutch. So I
need to know who you think they're taking, and I need to know who you're taking.
I'm
not too worried about who they're taking. I don't want to predict that necessarily. I think it's Kyle Hamilton for them. For the Oakley picks, put me down for Jameson Williams.
Meanwhile, the Eagles and Texans just struck a trade. The Eagles were picking 15th. They're now on the clock at 13.
All right.
The Texans moving
taking
down
Jameson Williams
to 15, and we're about to get the Lions pick. You think this is for a quarterback?
If you move this aggressively up, usually it's for a quarterback, and that is a long-term need for this football team.
Well, they already have Trevon.
Yeah, I'm saying at this point, Oak, my pick is Malik Williams.
First overall. Let's see who the Lions really liked this much to move up 20.
You don't make this move. You don't make this move if you don't take him.
The Minnesota Vikings have traded the 12th pick to the Detroit Lions. With the 12th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jameson Williams.
Whoa. There it is! Boom!
Wow.
Best playmaker in the draft when he's healthy. We got time. That's why I did it too, because I was like, you can let him get healthy, and you can just roll this kid out. He's a ball player. Hell yeah.
Wow. You moved up that far to get him?
We don't know what we gave up, but like, what Brad Holmes to say he wanted game changers. The game changers in this draft were like Hutch, Tibbs, and Jameson Williams, like, are the top guys that they're, that can be top ball players in the league. Love this kid.
Hey, he was a big need, so I know he's not playing for half a season, but wow.
Dude. Like that, the whole thing with whoever took Jameson Williams was like, you needed a little bit of time, but you also like were playing for 5 years, bro. Like,
yeah.
He's a WR1 with crazy speed, which we've never had. Oh my goodness, love it.
Wow. That's
and it's documented, Choppy. I hit send again. Never mind. It's not about me. That was a hell of a pick. Very aggressive, and I would have stayed put, but I love this kid.
But hey, Okri, you got to get, if you want to be given some love.
What up,
who said? Can you see Big Bad Brad using an asset next year in a later draft to move up to get a stud? And what did he do? Come on now, give me some love.
Choppy, you get mad love for saying that. You like, I am on record too in the thing of saying I wasn't a fan, but they did it. I like this player. Like, it was a good call by you. I did not see that coming at all, especially trading with Minnesota, who could have used Jameson Williams, who plays in our division, who might have just given us the best playmaker in this draft.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I agree.
Crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm trying to find the trade details.
Look at him. He just runs away from people, and he's so silky.
And then watch what he does with it. He's going to run away from everybody on the football field, and he makes it
look
effortless.
Like, so Brad Holmes' thinking had to be, I love this kid. We have enough to get by, and like, if he falls to this spot, I'm going to go get him. That had to be what it was.
That's exactly what he thought. And he's been raking up these assets to do it.
That's something he does naturally.
What did
Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra Brown, DJ Chark, TJ Hawkinson,
DeAndre Swift, Swaggy, and your boy Jared Goff is here for at least a couple more years.
Big plays in a team that's trying to catch up.
Oh, weapons!
As you see right here, it's now time to welcome him to Primetime, delivered by Pizza Hut. Alyssa?
What an incredible, emotional roller coaster that you have been through.
Oh,
suffering
baby.
A victory in the national
Look at this guy.
game, and now the Detroit Lions move up to pick you in this draft. What's going through your mind?
Oh, baby.
Honestly, we ain't going to speak on that, but I'm just ready to get to work,
How are you health-wise?
Ain't going to speak on what?
Everything going good. I'm getting back to it. Should be back soon.
All right, a man of few words. It's a big night for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And he's off to Detroit.
He didn't look happy, Choppy.
Nicely done.
That didn't seem like a I'm ready to ball. That seemed like, why'd the Lions just come up and get me?
Pick is now in. The Ravens are now on.
Did you get that take or no?
We're supposed to be 13th.
I mean, he didn't sound happy. He don't look happy.
No.
He's like, wow.
That was like a WTF interview.
Why are they not showing the draft room, man? That's like
Eagles all over the draft board. Same with the Texans and Washington. as we are a dozen picks into
Holy
2022.
All right, so wait, now Philly just flipped with the Texans too?
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right,
Choppy, we need the details on this. This is where we got to go fishing on the freaking web. So
I'm trying to run the board. I'm trying to grab the. I mean, they just announced 3 trades. I'm trying to get the updates. I'm trying to grab the deeds, man.
I gave up on my boards when that happened because that is just knocked me on my ass.
I'm telling you right now, this is what just happened. The Eagles were pushing. They wanted Jameson Williams bad, and the Lions just one-upped them, so they had to get the consolation prize. They know their other guy who they're going for, which, by the way, is going to be a wide receiver, was going to be gone. So now they're pissed. They had to make a follow-up move, and they're butthurt because the Lions just took it to them. That's my hot take.
So, oh my God. So I'm like lost right now because that was so bold. I don't know what they gave up. I assume it's 32 and next year's first, maybe. I don't even know. Like, we might be done with first.
He said it was 30. I heard 32 swapping thirds and an extra something to go up. So dude, I'm just trying to get this.
And I know we're going to talk all about it, but I need to know. Like, I need to hear from Holmes. This guy was just, we had to have him, but I need to know he's bought in. I need to know that he's like, man, I'm about to get healthy. I'm coming to the D and I'm ready to go. Like, he better be that way because he's a dynamic football player. Yes, it's a wide receiver, the Lions. I get all the jokes, but we are a top 10 offense now when Jameson Williams gets rolling, as long as his head's right. But this could be a Lions. Go ahead.
Here it is. The Lions get 12 and 46, and they send 32, 34, and 66. I actually don't hate it. I really don't hate it. To get the best wide receiver 46 in the draft when healthy. I don't hate it.
I'm just looking it over here. So we got 46. We gave up 32, 34,
you got
66.
12 and 46, and you gave up 32, 40. We're done today.
We still
gave up 32, 42, 66.
We still have 97 from what you're seeing right now.
Yep.
We have Jameson Williams. So he takes, let's say we got Jameson Williams at 32. So we gave 34 and 66, and we got 46 back. I mean, I don't mind.
Basically, you package 32 and 34 to move up to 12, and then in doing that, you then also swap 66 and move up to 46. I like it. I actually really like it.
I mean, it's going to take some time for all this to settle, but I don't hate that price because of who you got. As long as he's going to come here and want to be the best receiver in the game or be a speed demon or be a playmaker, a game changer, like, then I'm cool with it. If he's pouty face or he didn't want to be here or he didn't see this coming and they didn't tell him, that could be a problem. So let's go ahead and turn this up.
I mean, all it's going to take is for him to meet them real quick. So he'll fall in line.
Your boy, Jared Goff, better be getting ball, too. Guy's dynamic.
Right, so would you agree with that, T-Leaf?
I was in Philadelphia in the personnel department when we traded up a few spots 10 years ago to take Fletcher Cox.
Choppy, I'd quit on my boards at this point. I need to freaking breathe after that because I didn't see it coming. I'm wowed by the player. You made an incredible call. What about me, too, calling it out for the Oakley picks and then them doing it, which shocked me? So I didn't think they would do it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you called the name, I called the play, and you called the name, man. I mean, that's a hell of a 1-2 punch right there. But I mean,
and it's live on audio, bro.
That's pre-draft. That's the choppy strategy. Okie laying it down for them to take the guy. And I mean, listen, that's all recorded. That's live. That's legit. We just made the biggest move in a draft trade that we've made in how long?
Then it's the Chargers and Eagles again.
Now let's get to work.
Oh my goodness!
Wow, Oakley, we just got Jameson frickin' Williams and Hutch.
Woo! Woo!
will tackle and flag
I can't even believe it, man. It's like, this kid's so damn good. The only reason I went with him is because I was looking at it saying we can get other things later. We couldn't get a Jameson Williams talent any other time in this draft.
No, you couldn't. Absolutely could not. That was we could not. That could not have played out any better. I'm so happy, and again, flipping into that 46 spot, Oak. I'm looking ahead. One of my safeties is going to be there.
46. We're still going to get a damn good player at 46. I still can't believe this. The kid's still got to get out and play. Obviously, he's got to get healthy, all that good stuff. But holy cow!
I mean, you just made the biggest splash of the draft, and you didn't really pay too much for it. I mean, wow, wow.
So, and the way the receivers went down, I kind of had like that whole Garrett Wilson is my wide receiver 1, but because of the injury type of thing. But I think Brad Holmes, like I said, he probably had like an 8 to 10. It's probably after 10, I would say, is probably where he was like, hey, man, if the kid gets there, I got to go do what I got to do. And he just felt that was not only the spot, but why is he still there, I guess? Or I want to get him before other people do? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, listen, he knew that. Look, who was eyeing it up? Eagles,
Everyone
baby.
said Jameson was the guy. Like, for the last however long, right? How long has it been where people are like, yeah, I know he's hurt, but Jameson Williams is wide receiver 1. He's going to go top 10 despite the injury. That's been all the talk the last month or so.
Yep.
Yeah. And the freaking Lions got the guy. You're talking about the Jets or this team or that team. Our team got him, went up and aggressive and got him, and probably thinks this is the best receiver this team's had since, 81 and company. This is a guy that can change what we do to defenses. And oh, by the way, we got 4 or 5 other playmakers too. Then we're going to be a sneaky offense. I mean, we still got holes to fill on D, and they all got to come together and make plays, but Jared Goff can throw and get this guy the ball. Look out.
Yeah, we're gonna surprise some folks. Oakrey, make it right here. I'm buying my playoff tickets.
We'll be buying the playoff tickets.
We're a 10-win team. We're a 10-win team right now.
Jared Goff, like your boy, has got to be going through the roof because you thought you get a piece, you get this, you get that, but he had to have an inclination, and the fact that they got that guy, he has to be just so happy because
he's 100% full mast hard on right now.
So let me ask you this. We're going to hear probably even from others later or tomorrow, another skill guy when their defense is horrible, a guy that's hurt, you could have got by with what you had. What do you say to those folks?
What I say to those folks is, again, I just got the best wide receiver when healthy in the draft. And what I needed to do is to give up a 2nd round pick. In addition to I also got to move up another 20 spots from 66 to 46. So stuff it. That's what I'm going to tell those people. This is a steal. I don't even know how the Vikings GM was even allowed to make this deal. That guy, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Insane.
That's the other crazy part is not only, like you said, usually when you make deals, especially in the NFL, you kind of have to be like, hey, we're coming up to get so-and-so. So, like, the other team's like, all right, cool, we didn't really want him anyway, right? Like, I think that's courtesy, or that's how I know it to go. Could you imagine them telling him we want to come up and get Jameson Williams and then being like, oh, okay, we're not high on him or we'll deal with you even though you're in our division? That's crazy.
Totally insane. Totally insane. Marquise Brown just gets traded to the Arizona Cardinals, by the way. And we can't forget to mention that Kyle Hamilton just got traded by the Ravens. How Kyle Hamilton falls to 14 to the frickin' Ravens is insane, by the way. who we just signed away to Sean Elliott from. But hey, good replacement for him. Good for Ravens. I know we got to talk a little bit outside here, but dang, that's a steal for the Ravens to get Kyle Hamilton at 14. And now, of course, the news breaks that they just traded away Arizona Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown for the 23rd pick and a third rounder. So Baltimore jumps into the 23rd slot.
Let me ask you this. How in the blue hell is Marquise Hollywood Brown, based on what he's done up to this point, worth 23 overall? I mean, you got guys that have made plays and been great ball players going for second, third, plus rounders. This guy's a 20. That's just crazy to me.
He's also been fourth and lower on the depth chart on an all-running team. So I think Arizona's probably banking that Kyler Murray is going to be able to see over the O-line long enough to throw him the ball.
It's another fancy tool that's going to crap out there. 23 is a hell of an asset, Choppy. That's gold right now. And for Hollywood Brown, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. What a great trade for Baltimore. I mean,
I agree. Goodness. I wouldn't have made that trade, but hey, Baltimore's rolling. So
like you say, Kyle Hamilton.
They grabbed Kyle Hamilton, and they just got another. They just got another first round pick for Hollywood. So, hey,
incredible.
Good for them. And it looks like Texans just took Kenyon Green. So the first guard comes off the board. Kenyon
Green went right now at 16.
Yep. It's Texans. They reached.
This is where it's getting kooky, because Kenyon Green's a good player, but he was definitely in the 20s to 30s for me, not mid-teens or whatever. That's a little rich. Kyle Hamilton to the Ravens.
They needed a guard. We're gonna have to go, but man, it's hard. It's been so hard to keep track of all these darn trades, man. Going through, I'm gonna have to. Now Washington's on the clock, and the pick is already in for Washington too. So, oh baby, it's moving, man. Trades are in. These guys are picking. They're not running the clock. I think there's a lot of deals in the background going on right now. Teams are getting anxious. Brad Holmes opened up the door with that huge blockbuster trade.
Washington was picking at 16, so there's not a deal. That's just a pick in. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but this is round one, Choppy. I mean, I'm just blown away by the Lions. I lost my brain when the Lions just did that. Like, I'm kind of wandering around my draft room, just sort of thinking about the fact that we have Jameson, Williams, and Hutchinson, thinking about the fact we didn't give up a house and a home, the fact that Brad Holmes has got huge stones and made a move like that. I mean, that's incredible to me.
It shouldn't surprise you.
And I'm not surprised, but I'm definitely kind of thrown for a loop here of our whole little system, because our team just made the boldest move of this draft and might have changed our future forever.
Get on board, because it's the Brad train. You just hope to be riding it.
Happy, I'm on board. I've been on board. I'm drinking it in. I've been serving it up for years here. I'm just telling you, this is something different.
I'm just telling you, just get on board, because the Brad train is running.
Unbelievable.
All right, are we going to listen to this pick live here? We're back on Washington at the 16th pick, and the day is not over, Okri. I mean, we're only at pick 15, so
get football on your terms with NFL Game Pass.
So,
you're huffing and puffing over there, like, I don't know what's happening. You okay over there or what?
I'm just stomping around sort of, because I'm fired up, man. I really am. But I know when we put this out, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, these guys are going crazy. It's like, I haven't really been looking at the reaction, but it's got to be crazy. It's got to be, people have to be excited about that.
Dude, Twitter is absolutely blowing up. People cannot believe this. They think that I saw one take. Brad Holmes must have been in Minneapolis and served the GM there some special brownies to get him to agree to that trade. Didn't even give up a first rounder to just go get the best wide receiver. Best draft the Lions have ever had. Brad Holmes will lead us to the promised land. Brad Holmes promises to be aggressive and get the best talent, and guess what? He just did. Lions just turned their two biggest weaknesses into the two biggest strengths, adding HUTCH and Williams. I mean, dude, grade this trade. All A's. I mean, no, like one person doesn't like this on Twitter. I mean, again, and don't even forget that you moved up from 46, from 66 to 46 in that trade too. So Philly, on the other hand, I'm loving this. So Philly was dying to get Jameson Williams. They were actually using that trade up where they took the D line. That was in the works. They got that into the queue. Just as the Lions were getting their trade into the queue, and word is that Philly was actually going to take Jameson Williams, and so they are just furious. I have not seen more Twitter hate for a GM, opposing GM, since I don't know. This is crazy. Philly now hates Detroit as much as they hate Dallas and the Giants. This is great. My day is happy, but I mean, I'm seeing this just crazy. Here you go. And now to also counter that, they've also just lost their damn minds. They're trading with the Titans. Eagles trading for A.J. Brown from the Titans.
No way.
Lost out on Yes. Blockbuster. Titans are trading A.J. Brown to the Eagles per source. Completely overpaying due to the loss of Jameson Williams. I may or may not have ended that last piece, but that's a Shefty bomb right there. A.J. Brown going to the Eagles because they were completely distraught. They just lost out on Jameson Williams. And Brad always business just raked them across the coals.
Who are the good old Commanders taking? John Dotson already. That's my guy, but not at 16. Not when you could have got Jameson Williams 4 picks before that.
Oh, that's okay. Everybody's going into crisis mode. Brad Holmes has blown up the draft. Nobody even knows what to do anymore. They can't even wrap their brains around what just happened. He has just completely destroyed this draft for every other team. They might as well just quit. Just give them your picks now. Just give them your picks now. They don't even know what to do.
Oh man, we've lost Kevin pressure.
Dotson at 16? What?
We've seen this with a bunch of these wide receivers so far tonight.
So here's my thoughts based on what you just said, and all the craziness. So Jameson Williams has been quoted. I think I saw this at multiple spots that he was touting. If I go to Philly, me, Devonta Smith, and Goddard, and I don't know who else they have, they're touting they were just going to be incredible, right? He is quoted saying that's going to be unseen or never seen before or some crap like that.
Yeah.
So he was thinking that was going to happen.
That's exactly what. That's right.
And the fact that
shell-shocked.
The Lions took him, ruined his little plan. Maybe he's boys with Devonta Smith, obviously they went to Alabama, right? So for a year there, they were together. So, but Choppy, we cannot miss this fact that, you can say I'm going to give him the football and treat him real good, but that needs to go away quickly. That whole hoo-hoo and look, you're excited about it because it's a heist and it's a look at what we did, but you got to get the player there too, in regards to, all right, cool. I thought I was going to Philly, but I'm all in with the Lions. Let's ready to roll. I mean, that's got to.
Okay, here's the thing, Oakley. Think about this kid, right? This kid. I mean, he's a kid, so he just realized. First of all, he probably just got the call from the Eagles GM that said, "We're trading up. We just processed a trade with Washington. Yeah. We're moving up to grab you." And then, seconds later, he probably texted all his boys, "I'm coming to Philly. We're going to do what I said we were going to do, blah, blah, blah." And then 1 second later, Brad Holmes picks up the phone and goes, "Hey, bro, we just swung a deal. We traded with the Vikings and we're taking you at 11. And he's like, "But what?" And so he has no idea what to even say. Oh, my God. What is this? Zion Johnson to the Chargers? That's 17. All right.
Wow. He's a hell of a he's the Frank Ragnow of this draft, where he's just so solid, such a good kid, so smart, just plug and play, just nice NFL top 5 interior lineman forever. But like you said, projected to go later.
Second round grade going at 17. All right, let's have some fun.
Not second round. He was in the early to mid 20s is where I would have put him.
I saw people having around 36, 40. So, all right. Cool. I told you, Brad Holmes Brad, can I swear on the podcast, Oakley? Is it okay?
Go ahead.
Because Brad Holmes just mind-fucked the entire NFL. No one can even know what they're doing right now. Everyone is still just in awe. They don't even know what's happening.
I agree. I think that your point's well taken that the kid is shell-shocked. My point is that I guess they just don't care. It's one of those, we took you, you're going to play for us, you're going to be happy, you're going to get over it. But his response of, it is what it is, and then he just walked off. That's the only part that has me concerned. I mean, we've been freaking out for 30 minutes, but I'm telling you that still leaves me with a little pause until that gets hammered out.
No, I have no issue with that whatsoever. Okay. That's a kid. That's a 21-year-old kid who thought he was going to go join his boys in Philly, who just got told by another GM, hey, plans changed, we're taking you. And he had 2 seconds to react before he's on national television. I mean, they just said, he's coming off an injury, he's totally shell-shocked. And guess what? They're going to pick up the phone. You don't tell me that those guys didn't see that interview. They didn't walk up and say, here's your Titans trade here, by the way. And say to him, look, dude, all right, let's talk this through, blah, 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 blah. They'll figure it out. Brad Holmes, tell me once this kid gets here, he isn't going to work with these people. He will. He's just a little shell-shocked. He's not going to play with his buddies in Philly. I'm not concerned about it at all.
I think it's going to take a little, you're going to be our top guy once you get rolling. We're going to get you the football. A lot of that's going to go on, as well as it's going to have to happen mid-season, late this season. Detroit's going to have to wrap their arms around him, put all this behind him, because, I only saw a quick snippet, and I don't know Jameson Williams. I didn't see interviews. I don't know if he's a slam dunk everywhere, but I just didn't necessarily like what I saw. But I love what you're saying, that on the surface, yeah, I took him, we jumped in front of you, we screwed you over. Great. That's great for us, as long as the kid not only comes along, but he just sort of realizes that you're a centerpiece of this team now. We're going to make you a top flight NFL receiver right away. So not a big deal. And your whole thing with AJ Brown, I know we're talking Lions, but I got to wrap my head around that trade, because I love AJ Brown. So the fact
what he just got traded for, Oakley? You know what he's just got traded for?
Give me it.
Let me break it to you. AJ Brown just got traded for pick 18 and pick 101 for AJ Brown. So you basically traded a first-round draft pick and for AJ Brown and a fourth for AJ. Or a late third. That's a hell of a steal. If you're the Titans, why are you doing that? I don't understand that at all. Not when I could have just.
That was my sort of point, was that he's, like you kind of said, oh, they freaked out, so they did this. The fact you're acquiring AJ Brown instead of a rookie, to me, it's not necessarily a consolation prize. He's a hell of a player, a hell of a dog, and it's like the Debo. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay him, but I don't feel like that's some big miss.
Here's the other thing. Okay,
when it comes to talent.
Considering that people were saying that Debo, they wanted the fourth pick for Debo. You just got AJ, who I like more than Debo in the long run, by the way.
Yeah.
For the 18th pick in a late third rounder. So right. I'm not saying that the Eagles are made a hasty. Again, when I made that take, I didn't know what they paid for him, but I guarantee you that's what their thought process was. Holy crap, we just lost out on the wide receiver we moved up for to get, and now we need to start moving the line because we didn't get what we wanted. So
yeah, I'm there with you, as well as. That surprised me, you know what I mean? Like the fact that AJ Brown's sort of been doing this and that. Like, I love it for him because I think it's a much better situation. I've been playing with Ryan Tannehill, but yeah, and I like the price, so I'm still happy that we got Jameson Williams. But you told me we got AJ Brown for that type of deal, I'd probably be doing cartwheels too.
Oh, if we traded 32 for AJ Brown, I would have been okay with that too.
Third or whatever.
So, but again, if you're talking 5 years, making $4 million a year.
But with this being his potential walk year, the Titans.
What did the Titans take? Oh, they're on the clock now with 18.
Draft night here in Vegas to Philly, which sends the 3rd overall pick in the draft and the 18th overall pick in this draft.
Sorry, I keep breaking all this news to you before their NFL draft is actually doing it. I can't wait for them. They're too slow for me.
Oh, you're good. For a big-time, big-name receiver, and they got that with A.J. Brown. But that is not all. Sources said they just agreed to terms on a massive contract extension for Brown. 4 years, $100 million with $57 million guaranteed.
That's a big
of course they were going to extend him for
just
pay up
3
for
years
that.
in the league. We're seeing some watershed.
Right, so the Titans are on the clock at 18.
Over the last 6 weeks.
A.J. Brown has been dealt. The Lions have probably the best edge rusher and the best wide receiver in this draft for the next half decade.
Yep.
With the 18th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Treylon Burks, wide receiver.
Yeah, you knew it had to be wide receiver to replace that. He was the next one. So
big physical receiver out of Arkansas.
Like you say, Brad Holmes has started a domino effect.
Yep, absolutely. He literally
jumped
just
the shark. He got ahead of the curve. There's no question. I would much rather have Jameson Williams than any of these guys that have went.
Yep, agreed. And you knew that they were going to be. I mean, they sat back on it, and I think they. I mean, look, Okri, what more can you say about a GM who learns from what he did in his first year, right? How did they handle the wide receiver position this last year? They sat back, they waited late, they got Amon-Ra, which is huge, but they also didn't make any signings before. So now they knew, okay, that's one approach. It didn't work out the greatest for us. Now, let's make a little splash and see how it plays out. All right, Titans. A.J. Brown, baby. They needed wide receiver anyway, then they got rid of their best one. So, cheers to you.
You know what I can't wait is for the haters to give the take of, oh, you took somebody that couldn't even play at Ohio, at school we shall not speak of. It's like, get the hell out of there with that. I mean, they have absolute game changers, 3 to 4 of them that were already there, and this kid came into his own over the last year and a half, 2 years. I mean,
it wasn't that he couldn't. Yeah, I mean, that's whatever.
Going to be out there, but I'm just saying, like, that's we got nothing else to go with, so we're going to throw that out there, but that's just garbage because just turn the tape on of what he is now. I mean, I don't even care what he did in practice back then. Maybe he was a total bumble. It doesn't matter. Now he made plays at the highest level, and it's pretty clear what he can do. The best part, like, I don't know how much you watched him because, like, he didn't feel like a guy that we would have, but the few times that I did turn on the Jameson Williams tape, I was blown away by the way that he almost has this way of running, Choppy, where he runs and changes gears, but silky smooth and like at a blink of an eye, where he's like running.
He's got the hip shift. Yeah.
And it's like a downshift where all of a sudden he's running and he's cutting, but then he's accelerating past you. Or he's catching the ball on like a dig in, and then he's running away from you right afterwards. Like it's insane. That's why I'm so fired up about him, because the few times that I turned him on or watched it, I was like, what is this? And we have a guy that can finally beat you deep.
Yep.
I mean, people tell me Calvin all day. This kid is a different type of speed, beat you deep.
Steve, hey, listen. We've been waiting for this X for how long? How long? I know I had Drake London as my top wideout, taking into the injury factor, but there was no question in my mind that Jameson Williams, he's the best wide receiver. He was the best wide receiver in the draft. Mm-hmm. So, just still in shock, man.
So we're getting towards the end part. Let me ask you, like, let's say we get to that 32 and 34-ish, and all the guys we talked about before. Kobe Dean is there, and the safeties, and some other. I'm looking at the wide receivers. It's really there's other than your boy Pickens. I mean, nothing at this point. So if that was your plan, good thing you didn't wait around, right? But is there any combo meal there that would kind of be like, oh, that would have been nice, or just like we've been talking about, you're totally on board with who they got, what they did, and the situation?
I mean, I am 1,000% on board with the situation.
Yeah.
I think and this is why, Oakley, because
Chiefs,
a lot
I think,
of those
just came up
guys
to get your boy Pickens. Sorry. Chiefs just traded up with New England, so they're probably getting Pickens because, like I just said, he's the last guy there that's dynamic. So that's my prediction.
And the Packers were probably hoping he was going to fall to him, but he's not going to. And now you get garbage. you get garbage, Aaron Rodgers. So look, just to finish my thought. Look, I mean, you got the most dynamic wide receiver in the draft. You were probably going to use a 32 or 34 to take a wide receiver. Okay, ho hum, great. You still have you have the 46th pick, and my combo meal there was going to be a safety and one of those guys that was going to fall into that 32-34 range, or is probably going to fall out into being that 46 range. So you still may even get the dynamic safety, maybe a Brisker that you were looking at. So I mean, look, if we walk away, dude, if we walk away with Hutch,
talk to me,
Williamson, and Brisker, oh baby.
Hutch, Jameson, Williams, and then at 46, how about Jalen Petrie?
Yep.
Because exactly. I do think Brisker probably will go between now and then, but 46 seems like a sweet spot for him. And you want to get real kooky, what about 46? Dean, Quay Walker, a guy like that, if they value linebacker, and waiting to 97 and considering my guy Nick Cross, if he's still there. That's another way to get what you could.
I like Cross, and the other guy. I like that. I really would. You're looking at that at 96. The other one that I think has some sneaky value that people start to forget about a little bit is Brian Cook from Cincy. I like him as well. So, man, we got a lot of good options here. And I am just completely ecstatic, man. I can't. You could not have drawn this up any better. Giving up one pick to move up 20 spots in first and second round. How do you? I don't know. I mean,
like I say, we threw out two safeties but I think we need to be in agreement that Jalen Petrie or Brisker is a much better big swing play. I would even take either of those two over a quality linebacker at that point, because I think I can get Troy Anderson or Muma or whoever much more at 97 as well. So if I had to grade between the two, dynamic, like versatile safety or hard-hitting playmaking safety is more important to me than a backer at this point.
Agreed.
But
I think you can get a backer in the back end of the third round, much more dynamic, especially with the way this draft is breaking out. So give me the safety in that spot. I mean, look, if it got really kooky and one of those like stud linebackers really fell, which we've kind of talked about, I can't imagine that will happen. I mean, that's a huge fall. But if it happens, oh baby, yeah.
I'm really like, my brain is much more in the mode of we don't have 46 still. Every time you bring it up, I have to look up at my board and go, shit, yeah, we still got 46 tomorrow. Like that's not only huge, but my brain is also going to the Chark, Jameson, Williams, Hockenson, Swift quartet. Like, I think that's
also,
fun to watch.
Don't forget Josh Reynolds.
Sorry, St. Brown, and I'm just
saying Amara. Come
on, take Pickens so that Green Bay's out of luck, and so he can ball out in KC.
I'd be happy with that.
With the 21st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Trent McDuffie.
Oh, McDuffie. Like I said, I was shocked he was still there. So.
Trade up for the corner, which good call by you, as well as corners to me are kind of odd because they're very important, but just weird when they're taken, especially when there's quarterbacks on the board or wideouts or defensive studs. It's kind of like, do I want a corner? But they are really important. I gave you that speech the other day.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, and again, I had McDuffie ranked way higher than that. So
yeah,
I think that's a really good pick. That's a steal in my opinion for the Chiefs. Now they had to trade up to get it. I didn't see what all they did to get that. I don't think that's officially come out yet, but man, what an exciting night, man. It's 10:30. The draft is going. We're at pick 22. The Lions have just Brad Holmes has just completely shocked the world. I mean, again, Okri, I can't even catch up on my Twitter feed because people are still going nuts about what he just did. So, which, is just insane.
The one drawback, and again, I multitask all day. You're doing a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff at work and life. But, like, the fact that I'm so shocked by the move up as well as the different things that we're working on and the talking, like, I've only seen a certain amount of reaction because we're trying to do X amount of things, but I cannot wait to dive in as well as just soak this up, drink this in with the people. Where is the damn soundbite, man? Get a full glass, everybody.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread for everybody.
Cornbread.
Make it a double.
Cornbread.
Oh my God.
I'm loving all the hate here on the Packers. Packers need to pick Malik Willis. I'm going to go bananas if they take a defensive player right here. Aaron Rodgers is just going to be so effing mad when they take a defender here, and it's going to make my day. Go with Jermaine Johnson just to piss him off.
Somebody just said, what if Malik's there at 46?
Oh, God. Can you... No, I don't even want it. I don't even want it with the weapons we just put around Goff. And he's paid. The weapons we just put around him and he's paid. This is the year. Got to do it. Prove it or get out.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe Jermaine Johnson is still on the board.
Good call by you. And also, I always wonder what that curve is between, okay, we know as much fun as I have with him and as much as you have fun with the gimmick of absolutely loving him. Like, we both know that Jared Goff is a capable NFL quarterback. He knows the offense. He seems to get along well with his teammates. All the things that you're hoping a new guy would, and that's already done. And it's been done for years. So I wonder how that factors in versus the projection of the next guy being so much better. Because you got a lot of things in the pocket other than at what high level can Jared Goff play and what can he win, and like you said, the times that he's won and played well, he had a great offense around him and a good team, which we're trending towards quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
That's what I would love to see for your boy.
Real quick here, I'm gonna spoil this pick for you, Oakley, because I just got a text from my insider at Green Bay, and it says they're going linebacker, and it's not the linebacker who we think it is. So
is it not
it's
Lloyd
not going to be
or Dean?
No.
Quay.
Yep. That's the word on the street. It's Quay.
Green Bay Packers select Quay Walker.
There it is. Yes. Like, even if Quay Walker's good, that still makes me happy.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, I know he wants a wide receiver.
I was definitely on the train that, could they come back and get Pickens here? I guess, but I was on the train of they're going to do it again. They're going to pass up skill players again, and here's why. Once they signed Smug, what do they owe him at this point? Go do whatever you want to do once he signed on the dotted line. You know why? Because what's the alternative? Oh, I quit. I'm not going to play. all right, cool. We get $45 million a year back. We have a quarterback already sitting there, and we can move on with our life. Or shut the hell up. We'll do whatever we want and go play football. Like that's what I think they did to him. Not he signed. Now we have to do what he wants.
No, listen. Here, I've got a funny little insider, for real insider take. Well, actually, it's not. I did get a text about that. They were taking Quay, but I got another funny one. So I went to high school with the Green Bay Packers head coach, Matt LaFleur. So I grew up with the guy. I know him. Obviously, I haven't kept in touch with him. I don't know him on a personal level now as an adult. But he was the type of guy where if you drew a line in the sand and you said don't cross it, both feet were already across it before you could even put the words out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy who's like, I've got the biggest in the room and I'm going to show it to you and prove you. And he just doesn't take shit from anyone. And he's always been that way, and I think that's probably why he's gotten along so well in the NFL, because he's a sharp guy. But I can honestly, like, knowing Matt LaFleur on a personal level from 20 years ago, I can see him and Aaron Rodgers just sitting in a room staring at each other. And by the way, they're almost the same age. Don't get me wrong. Like LaFleur is only like 42 years old. So they're sitting each other, staring across. Aaron Rodgers is looking like his California long hair. He's got his do-rag on. He's got a surfboard, California boy. And Matt LaFleur is looking at him, Midwestern boy, going, what are you going to do? I'm your boss. So you're exactly right. The whole point of that whole rant is you are exactly right. They're not going to cater to this guy. They just paid him. Now they paid him, and they're going to say, now shut the hell up and do what I tell you to do, because what are you going to do if I don't? He's got all the money, and they have all the power at this point.
Yep.
They gave him the money, and now they have the power.
Interesting. You only get that here on the Koolaid Cast Choppy with his siren, I know this guy, look at me take that I basically said before you said that, but the fact that you backed it up was awesome, and I agree with you, man. It's as if Green Bay can just suck and he can be a miserable human being, even more smug than ever before, I'm happy. So I would love them to pass on a wide receiver here coming up, as well as in the next year or two, become very terrible. However that needs to happen.
Okay, I'm showing that the Bills are now on the clock, so something happened here.
Yeah, there was a trade. I saw Bills up, but I didn't know. They moved just a couple spots up. Again, Ravens making another deal down. Yeah, this is this has been fun, man, but this is a different night one too than I've ever had. I mean, gosh, we're going on almost 3.5 right now, Choppy, of take, as well as keeping up with this craziness.
Yeah, I mean, we're rolling, man. We got good content. We got trades going. I mean, look, it was funny because when we were sitting at 11, I was like, nothing's happened, right? Like, nothing's happened. And then Saints move up. Brad Holmes just breaks the draft. And now it's just been pure madness. Buffalo's in. Did they just take George? They just took the edge?
Somebody on Twitter just cleared it up, like we've been talking about. The Lions only moved back 12 spots in round 2 and gave up a third to go from 32 to 12 and get the best playmaker in the entire draft.
Yeah.
I mean, that encapsulates it right there. That's an Oakery Choppy-esque RFL, RSO type trade right there. Like, that's a beautiful thing by Brad Holmes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely insane. All right, here we go.
Let's play how that would go down. hey, we're looking to go from 32 to 12. How about we slide back 12 in the second round, and we'll throw you a third. Done. What? What? Makes no sense, except for it's for our team, and we're jumping for joy.
Yeah.
Please tell me it's decent news with Jameson Williams. Just tell me he's like, hey, man, I'm ready to play, and, I'm glad Detroit believed in me or something like that.
No, basically, what he's saying here is he didn't have a lot of contact with the Lions, but he's hoping to be ready by training camp, and he says I'm going to be a big part of this offense. They took a chance on me, and they have faith in that I can do big things. I'm here to show my playmaker ability, help them change things around for sure. Let's go.
Okay, that's what I needed to hear. Thank you, Choppy.
Yeah.
I need to hear that about an hour and a half ago, because that's the only response I need is something half decent, that he's motivated and that he's like, he does know. Like, that is the gist of it. The Lions believe you're a baller. They showed it. We don't have a top receiver. I mean, we have some nice pieces, and I'm not trying to sell Saint or Chark very short, but I'm saying, like, this kid comes along this year with those guys, and then all of a sudden in year 2, 3, 4, not expect him to be like a top 15 wideout, if not better, top 10 in a good world, or even just a dynamic piece. Sometimes there's a dynamic pieces that you don't even really rank them. You just know that they're kind of, you got to plan for them every week type of guys. He's one of those. So
sorry, I was trying to grab the audio there and see if it was something that I could actually play here for the people. But it sounds like.
No problem.
I mean, look, I'm going to say exactly what I said. He probably had just gotten the call from Philly. He thought he was going to play with all his boys in Bama, and Brad Holmes said, "Oh no, you're coming to Detroit, and you're going to like it." And he was probably just completely shocked. So he had a second to actually call him and collect. Again, Oakley, we got to remember these guys are they're like 21 years old.
Yeah.
So, not everybody was calm, cool, collected, and ready to run a team like I was at 21. These guys are ballers. So they're, they've got swag. They've got all his he's got all his buddies. He was probably already texting them that he was coming there. And then they were like, they called his name and he's like, whoa, that was one pick too soon. What just happened? No, he knows he wants to come play. He wants to prove himself. I did watch an interview with him straight up saying, I am the best wide receiver in this draft. And whoever takes me, if it's not first, is getting a steal. So he knows he's going to come out there and have the ball and prove himself. So he's got a chip on his shoulder. What was he, the fifth? Let's see here. Who went ahead of him? The two OSU boys. Drake London, and so he was the fourth one picked. He was the fourth one taken. So I mean, I expect him to come out mean. I expect him to come out angry, and I expect him to ball out.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I guess. I'm
sorry I couldn't get that interview to you sooner. It only took place at 10:27, so I got it to you within 15 minutes. But
oh no, you did great.
I probably should have got that to you at like 10:10. My bad.
No, you did great with it. I was just saying, like, that puts me not only at peace of mind. That's what I wanted to hear. Was hopeful, but I wasn't sure based on that 2-second blurb we got from NFL Network, and that's all I needed. As well as, like, when you say, oh, he was shocked or this and that, like, I never heard one bad word about Jameson Williams as a kid, but like I said, I didn't really dig into him because it really wasn't ever on my radar. Remember there was like, hey, he might be there late in the first round. That was talked about months ago, but that's kind of when I forgot about him of like a target because it didn't seem plausible. But so I get the shock factor. My point was like featuring him, the I believe in you, as well as I don't think he's a bad kid, but I don't know. Like some of these guys, I actually do watch interviews and just, oh yeah, that seems like a great humble kid, or man, he's just a hard-working, no-nonsense guy. You see me say that sometimes, but I didn't have a feel for him. But I feel that because I haven't heard anything bad and because of what you just read to me, it's like, all right, he's good now. My first reaction was maybe he hates this and maybe he's going to be a problem from day one, and that's not what I wanted. But that didn't match up with anything else really other than that little second. So I completely agree. I mean, I think you saw a kid who was completely shell-shocked, who was excited to be with his buddies, who just realized he's not going to be with his buddies after he just told his buddies he was going to be with his buddies. Yeah. The lady from the network grabs him and he's like, no timetable. Like he's just totally shell-shocked, right? I mean, he didn't sound happy. But again, I think I didn't take it as malicious. There's a lot of factors there. As far as scouting him out, I had no anticipation that he was going to be there at 32 or 34. Yeah. So I didn't do a ton of, I mean, look, I just chalked him up as he's the best wide receiver talent in the draft that's not going to be there. And he's coming off a ACL tear. So, what do you do? I didn't think it was anything the Lions would even have in their head. But, again.
The Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Smith, tackle.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
Reach. This was a guy that got in the late round one because he's some athletic tackle. But, yeah, I would have think there's lots splashier players than that for them.
What? Tyler Smith from Tulsa?
Right. He was projected to go right there.
Let me consult Logan real quick here. Logan had him ranked as the 67th player on his big board. Oh, sorry. No, I don't know about that. Love you, Logan. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of that range, but I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, they're not going with that. Let me look at the board for 2 seconds. I mean, Jermaine Johnson, they're not going with a guy like, I don't know, Karlaftis, Linderbaum, Wyatt, I had Devin Lloyd. I mean, you don't want any of those guys. You want this kid from Tulsa who wasn't even talked about till a month ago. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, P.S. I would have taken the guy from CMU over that guy. So whatever.
So real quick, back to about Jameson Williams. So wait till you dig into him, Choppy. I know you don't have a ton of time, but find time in the next couple days to just watch not only his highlights, but maybe go YouTube, find a game where they stick it on him, and it's not going to take you long to. I mean, you're already in love with it. We already love the trade value. We think he's dynamic, but I mean, if he's anything like his tape shows and he's healthy and he's ready to roll, this not only is a great pick and a dynamic player in today's game, but it's this kind of guy you pay to go watch, in my opinion, which to me matters. Hutch and him are ticket sellers, jersey sellers. Look out, the Lions are going to be on, more on whatever games, and I know we just want to win, but
where are they going to be, Okri? Where are they going to be? Oh, that's right. They're going to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah. Wait, that brings me to my point. So you said that he said, I might be ready for training camp. That was the other nugget I took from what you read, because my thought was they said it's going great. And, this is all this talk by the media was when he was going to go fancy to the Jets, or he was going to go to the Eagles, or he was going to go to one of these big teams they love. You know what I mean? Name another team, Green Bay, whoever. So it was he's ahead of schedule. He's going to be ready. You might miss a few games. You'll probably have him back by October. The fact that was being said before the Lions took him, so now it can't be oh, well, he's behind. He might miss the whole season. Not only is that that narrative can't be said, the player himself thinks he might be ready by training camp, and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are smart enough to say, bro, we don't need you right this second. We want you to be right. We want to make it all about you. But the fact that if he's ready by even mid-season, to me, that's a bonus as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't have to rush him. That's a great thing. You can put him in a spot to succeed. I mean, I love his ambition. I love that he feels like he's got a chip and he's got stuff to prove that he's the best wide receiver. Let's go out and ball out like my boy Waddle did last year. But you know what, but again, you don't have to make him force it, right? It's just a win-win situation all around. I mean,
Like, it's not we drafted a guy and it's a redshirt year, and so you lost a contract year. Like, he's not in that space, and he didn't have my knee fell off. He had a clean tear that happened 3-4 months ago, whatever it is. So those are all things, too, I'm going to want to preach to the people, because I think it's...
I got a 5-minute segment here of an interview with Jameson and Williams. If you want to play it, I don't know how to break it out. I'm not sure how you want to do it but I got his interview here on tape if you want to listen to it in the background as we kind of banter and talk. I don't know how clear it's going to come across.
Yeah. I don't know. You could throw it up. Maybe we just listen to a couple minutes. I just want to kind of hear his tone and what you said, see how it sounds.
Here he goes.
Ready for training camp. Do you have with Detroit? Could you just give us an update on kind of where the knee is at this point in the recovery process, and then 2, how much conversation did you have with Detroit in the pre-draft process, and just how do you envision yourself really fitting into this offense?
The timetable, I really don't have one. I'm pushing for being ready for training camp, and I forget the second question. Could you repeat that?
I don't like that he forgot the question.
How much conversation did you have with the Lions in the pre-draft process, and just how do you envision yourself fitting into this offense?
I really didn't have much with the Lions, honestly, but I see myself being a big part of this offense. Obviously, they took the chance on me. They have the faith that we can do big things, and I'm just here to show my playmaking ability. We could change things around for sure.
What's up, Jameson? How you doing, man? Eric, where you are from ESPN?
I'm good.
For the Lions to be aggressive, to move up like that, what did that show you, though? Like you say, you didn't have much contact with them in the process, but what did that show you about the aggressive and the move up to really pick you at that spot?
It just showed me that, I was a wanted player. I'm a wanted player on the roster. I had the chance to make a big impact. So really those 2 things, I would say.
Anybody else?
It goes on. It's the audio doesn't go great after that, but yeah, I mean, okay. So let's just start out. One, he's not a rocket scientist, so that's okay. I don't need a rocket scientist to win games, but I mean, look, he's saying the right things. Obviously, he got a little talking to from or I shouldn't say talking to. He had a chance to actually talk to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, I'm sure, and maybe even Sheila. And find out, hey, this is we love you. We wanted to get you. We went and did it. And, we expect you to be the number 1 guy in our offense. And we're going to help you do everything to succeed and get paid in this league. So,
I mean, when you played it, it wasn't as good as when you read it, because it still sounds pretty short to me, as well as, like I said, I didn't like that he couldn't remember the question, but I'm not going to hold that against him necessarily. It's what jumped out to me. The other thing is that he's kind of like a lot of playmakers in the game, where he's going to need to see, like, the coaches, the other players are going to wrap their arms around him. They're going to get out on the field eventually, and he's going to be featured and get the ball. And then it's going to, like I say, I don't need him I need Hutch at the podium and at the meet and greets, but I just need Jameson Williams the ball like he does. So I'm not too worried about it. I just think that, there's just still some things to get through with them, but he just sounds like a dynamic athlete that just sort of like doesn't say much, but also it's all new to him, as you said. And
well, I mean, it just again, I don't want to deceive anybody, you or the people when they're hearing this, but he is sitting in a private room in front of a computer screen, being asked questions over a choppy, Zoom call, and so I don't want people, I don't expect, he's not, his personality is not the type to be like flashy, bouncy, hey everybody, like he's more of a chill, my play speaks for my, on the field kind of guy.
I'm good with that.
Again,
if you really want to nitpick it, if you go back like once Tim Twentyman started to re-say the question, he knew right away what he said. So it wasn't a retention. It was more like, I didn't hear you or I missed it, but right when he said, oh yeah, I got you now. So, I mean, that's, but I agree with you too. It's just, but they do that with everybody. They always do those clunky, right after interviews, and some guys come across great and some don't. And it's like, sometimes the guys that come across great don't make plays, and then it doesn't matter. So, I mean, I want Jameson Williams to maybe suck at interviews and score touchdowns. So,
well, I mean, if he can do both, that's great. But if he can't only do one of those, then scoring touchdowns is higher on my list.
Yes, exactly. The thing I'm going to do, man, is just totally, obviously once this is done, and we'll kind of regroup and see what our game plan is moving forward for tomorrow and whatnot. But I'm just going to dive into all this stuff, as well as then I'm going to get the tweets out. We're going to have to figure out how to sort of bundle up this content, as well as interact with the Kool-Aid drinkers. But I'm seeing the same positive you are. I've just sort of been off my phone, to be honest, because I'm just sort of enjoying this and talking with you, and sort of like just still kind of wow, that's the way it feels to me, is wow still. And this is what happens every year, is that I'm looking at the board and I'm just like, wow, like it's almost the end of round one, and there's probably 30 guys I like off the top of my head, that could help the Lions, or that I think is great. So just fired up moving forward, and love who we got so far. Jets are back in, looks like 26.
Jets just traded with Titans again.
Tyler Linderbaum, he's a 10-year All-Pro. You draft him, he starts
got back into round
and this
one.
guy can be a leader in your locker room as well. Not just a wrestler, all the quickness that you were talking about as well. He is farm tough.
Very chalky first few picks, and then lots of movement and fun stuff.
Of course, that's all you got to say.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Joe. Appreciate the thoughts. Jets just moved back into the first round. Everybody, they
a 2, a 3, and a 5.
Second round pick
plus
tomorrow night. They have another
third.
One. And they swap third round picks, 69th to 101st overall, and the Jets then flip their final pick in the draft. Which
But
is
what if
the
Jets so far?
63 overall to go get
Sauce,
somebody.
Garrett Wilson.
Could they have just gotten Jermaine Johnson, do you think?
They got Sauce Gardner, who is my second player. They've got Garrett Wilson, who's my fourth
Jermaine,
player.
and Garrett Wilson.
Oh, baby. Still out there. And those are the three positions that they really wanted to attack in this draft.
This will be their third first-round pick. This dude's like, forget about it. I thought I was going to go get a meal. You know what I mean? I was just sitting here.
The other thing I want to say is people better be talking. We better be in the top 2 to 3 teams talked about tomorrow. Everywhere.
Picks was 2000 when they had 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jets fans out of here. You know what I mean? Like, let's say they take Jermaine here. I don't want a 30-minute segment about the Jets and a blurb about, oh yeah, the Lions also got HUTCH and Jameson Williams.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It can't be that way.
Just calling it out now because you know what the narrative is.
Yeah, but we just he started that whole craziness.
Yeah.
So I can't see that not. All right, what did they get here? All right, sorry, I'm just trying to get these trade updates in.
So the Brad Holmes presser probably hasn't come out, but that'll probably happen, once the round is over. And I cannot wait to hear what he says, because he will probably say we identified him early. He's a game changer. We stayed low key.
He fits the mold of everything we want to do. Yeah.
We made the move, but he's not going to give away everything. But I think you summed it up. He laid low. He pounced. He got his guy. He didn't tell him about it. And now he's going to make him a featured part of the Detroit Lions. This is what I love about the draft, too. I'll say it real quickly. Not only are the contracts important, once you take a guy, if they pan out, that's a 5-year commitment right there to both of those kids. This isn't like, we might have them for 2 to 3 years and then they go to New York City and play. No. Like, this is the 4 to 5 year deals in the NFL are like, that's why they're so damn important. I mean, they're here for a half decade, and you hope that you re-sign them for another 4 years after that at a minimum. So, love it. You ever want to be entertained, Choppy? You know how, like, on the Koolaid Cast, we always try to, like, talk ball but make people laugh and do gimmicks and stuff. You got to turn on the Chris Sims pod every once in a while. Like, this guy, he's got funny gimmicks that he says. He swears a good amount. He he has wild takes, and I was just scrolling through a little bit, and he says, Jameson Williams, my man. He goes, the only one on the board worth a 20-pick trade-up. My number one receiver, one out of the 5 to 6 best players in this draft, 3 rockets up his ass. That's one of his go-to lines when people are fast. You can tell he's pissed. The 2 Ohio State guys went ahead of him. Lions are winning this draft.
There you go.
Sims. He's like, I listen to him for entertainment value, and I do take some of his like hot takes as, is he crazy, or is that he knows something I don't know? But it's just one of those ones I chalk up to like fun to listen to and on my radar when I get a chance.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Jameson Williams.
All right,
yeah, it's going to take me forever to scroll through and catch up with all this that's going on, but I can't wait. People got to be not only excited, but it's one of those two. Wait till you see it, you know. Wait till you see Hutch get after people and wear 97. Wait till you see Jameson Williams, you know. Hopefully he gets a swaggy number and ends up, you know, healthier than you expect, quicker, and boom, there we go.
Yep.
And for all the people listening are going to hear this, like the fact that Choppy is so gung-ho, the fact that he's so on board with this, the fact that he called it ahead of time, the fact that I haven't heard any ifs, ands, buts, or maybes really, please take note. Because this is a guy where if there's a concern, if there's a, I'm not sure about it. I mean, you've been real positive on the Kool-Aid, but I chalk you up more as a cautious guy when it comes to risky players and bold moves in the NFL. Your fantasy teams, you're all over the map. You do some wheeling and dealing, but I think the fact that you're so for it excites me. And like you say, we're trying to be positive, Kool-Aid drinking, excited Lions fans, not woe is me and I'm not sure and we'll wait and see in 4 years. Like, that's not a take. That's not fun to listen to. So always going to be positive and hyped up for our team, but people definitely got our real reactions as well as 2+ hours of just being shocked and excited and knocked on our ass by this whole thing.
Oh yeah, listen, it's been a crazy day, man. I mean, I'm exhausted right now. We've only been going for like three and a half hours, and yeah,
that's why I'm so glad you did. Sorry, go ahead.
They're getting the real reaction, and it's just good stuff. I mean, we talked about it. We talked about, I kind of queued up the whole gather your assets and move it up. And then when it happened, you called the name out right away.
No, not right away. I was mulling over because I was looking at him and I was looking at Hamilton and I was looking at a couple other, and I'm like, if you're doing this and it's not a quarterback, then it's my next ball player that can score touchdowns and change the game, and that was who it was for me. So it wasn't a slam dunk, but when I came around to it, I was glad that they did as well because, a quarterback is fine too, but that's more of a waiting game, and then you're basically saying Goff isn't going to do it. Where here you're doubling down. You're like, we're coming, which is cool. So, yeah.
So this is the crazy thing, Oak. Remember how you said what happens if Malik is there at 34? I mean, I'm looking at how this is working out. You're going Jags, Packers, Chiefs, Bengals, Vikings, Tampa, Vikings at 34, and Malik would still be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
so just craziness. Craziness.
That's the Daniel Jeremiah mock last night was 32 Malik Willis to the Lions.
Yeah, so, I just could not see that happening. But now I think if he's there, Titans are going to grab him at 35.
Oh, the Jaguars are back in here.
With the 27th
they're taking the linebacker, sorry.
2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Utah.
Good pick. I love Devin Lloyd.
Yep.
I don't know.
Best available player. Again,
how does he fall to 27? Best linebacker in this draft goes at 27. Wow.
Oh, sorry. Wow. Something left my head, and because we're chatting and you said you're exhausted. I was going to jump in and say that's why I'm so glad you're doing this with me this year, because this is round 1, Chops. we have 6 more rounds to go. And yeah, I don't expect the Lions to shake it up the way they did or have some other things happen, but I wanted you to experience it because, like, yeah, we're just fans sitting here moving things around and talking about it and getting hype, but it is like a process, you know what I mean? Especially all the lead up. And here we are on the day, and now our team was big. Like, that's how I always feel every year. It's like, oh, it's like either work or you're exhausted, but it's a good exhaustion. You know, it's like, damn, that was worth it. That was fun. So I'm glad you said that, as well as if we didn't trade up, you were saying about Malik and whatnot. This is where we would be freaking out because I would have been pissed right there that Devin Lloyd went at 27, only a few picks away, right? I would have been hoping for him. So we eliminated all that. We didn't give up the farm, but coming around or next year or certain years, there's time where you're like, please, you know that feeling from fantasy and other things that we do football wise. But once you're counting it down and you're hoping not, and you're sort of got 1 or 2 targets, like that's where it gets real nerve wracking as well. But we don't have any nerves because we balled out in the first 12 picks and all we had to do was react and get excited for the last couple hours.
Yep. No doubt. So love seeing Devin Lloyd come out here all hyped up, man. He's rocking the purple suit. Right. So just picked up the commission, almost threw him off the podium, which I love. Such a happy guy, man. You're exactly right, Oak. If we wouldn't have made that move and we were sitting here, I'd be like, trade up, get him. Talk to Tampa right now because they're always looking to trade back. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, you're right. We don't have to do that, man. We get to sit here.
46 is going to be crazy because, like I say, at this point in the draft, there's going to be some absolute ball players at 46 that we did not expect. We don't even know why we're still picking at 46, but we're happy that we are. So I'm actually going to, between work and some other things I got going, I don't know, but I might even have to try to watch, fast forward back through this first round so I can feel the reactions, feel the talking points, because that's one thing we don't get when we're doing all this.
Yeah. Okay. And here's the other thing too. We're coming around at 28. Yeah, it's going to be awesome because when this is done, like tomorrow morning, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a look, see what's left, see how the balls are falling. Because man, it's only going to be 14 picks and we're up. So,
right.
There's going to be some major talent there. Again, I'm hoping for some safety talent. I'm looking at Petrie. I'm looking at Brisker. I don't think there's any way that Daxton Hill falls there. But again, if we were looking at linebacker, man, I'm really loving me some Leo Chanel. I would love to get him at 48 if we end up getting that, at 46 if we end up with that. So, right. Man, there's so much talent there. Just, yeah, damn. Wow.
You want to know one thing that's crazy too? Man, Devin Lloyd does look swaggy. He looks like a fun personality. Here's something that I don't know that we take or understand all the, I think some people take for granted, like all these GMs, how hard is it? I feel like there's so many very tactical. I mean, these guys are very smart guys. They're very cold, calculated guys, right? So I think Brad Holmes is a great guy, but I think there's a lot of maneuvering. So let's rewind it a little bit to getting DJ Chark. Getting DJ Chark when they did for $10 million is such a nice play now because you've sort of covered your ass, but you have a guy in the fold that now can't be like, oh, I'm going to go pick another team because you just took this. Like, he's here. And now you got Jameson Williams, and you took the kid from St. Brown. So I feel like sometimes they sign guys ahead of time knowing that they wanted this kid all along as well. It's strategic that way, which I don't think people ever think of. They're just like, oh, you got Chark, and now you have a better, younger rookie. It's like, no, I wanted to get Chark here and get him excited before I took a guy like Jameson Williams, type of thing. Yeah. You agree, or it makes sense? Or
no, I agree. I totally agree with you. It's just, like I said, going back to the whole, I'm exhausted. Like I'm mentally exhausted from all the scenarios playing out in my head and all the different things that have gone into this, the build up to the draft, the way that they handle themselves in free agency, making sure that they were, again, I think everything was on the table, drafting a guy, trading up, trading back, clearly trading up was there. It kind of seemed like the word was that Walker was going 1, and so they knew they had Hutch queued up at 2 where there was no hesitation. It was ready to go. It wasn't like they sat there and talked about it for long in, long out. Man, just great stuff, man. Just totally great stuff.
I got a question for you personally. So we'll go ahead and get this pick from the Gatorheads. Mozzarella sticks here.
But they'll also make tremendous impacts in their
They going Pickens here? I got to think they're going Pickens.
I hope not. Give them, let me look at my board.
Named in his honor, the Walter Payton NFL
I don't want him to have Devontae Wyatt, but that feels more like a guy that would look like value to them right now.
Award a player can receive. Tonight, we are proud to have Andrew Whitworth,
Boye Mafe,
the 2021 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, here with us.
I say Boye Mafe or Wyatt for the Green Bay Packers, both of which I think could be good, but are not skill players.
Thank y'all. Whose house? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's what I'm getting here from my insider is they're going Wyatt.
Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year.
Let it play out.
I would love the NFL, the Payton family, and nationwide.
That's what I mean, Choppy, or that's why I like having either the computer or the board the way it is, because all I had to do was take a peek, and he's sitting there. He's the type of guy. Shouldn't be there. Like a team like them do that kind of stuff.
Super Bowl champion. One of the most rewarding things about it was the platform.
Devontae Wyatt too. I'm here to tell you. Like, I'm kind of pissed if that's the pick. Like you said, I got to mute. Sorry, Whitworth, you're a good dude, but you're talking forever. Like, I'm disappointed because he's going there, but he became one of my almost draft crushes towards the end. I mean, this is a big human that moves and pulls people around. I mean, yeah, he's going to be something to deal with, and like I say, that's sort of some of these good teams, Ravens, Steelers, the teams that put up W's, Patriots and company, and, some of them just take good football players at positions that make an impact, and that's what this would be.
But I think you and I were all along, we were, I think Davis and Wyatt were neck and neck all along.
We're so proud of you.
And I also just love the fact that they're again not taking an offensive player in the first round.
Right.
F you, Aaron Rodgers.
Select Devontae Wyatt.
Okay, there it is. Choppy did.
That was my text from my Green Bay insider, my legit insider with the Packers there.
Well, I think some people are going to probably bitch at me saying that I didn't call Jameson before because we're on a little behind. But that our feed was. I cut it close, but it definitely was tweeted and was out before we saw it. I can tell by our reaction, but I just don't like that. The old I did that on a couple of these where I was scrolling by my phone on something and I saw who the next pick was. It's like, I just like that. Who's he going to announce? And I usually, right as you hear the first word, you're like, oh, you have some type of reaction. That's better for me than the Twitter spoilers. Yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, I actually had him more as a dynamic player than Jordan Davis because of what he does, more of a penetrating, violent player, where Jordan Davis is phenomenal in what he does, but I don't think he explodes the way Wyatt does. And he just looks like a beast.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Like that guy you don't mess with type of thing, but that's okay. We got Frankie that will deal with them, and Jonah, and Penny if he wants a piece. Penny will come get some if he'll stand up to Aaron Donald.
Mm-hmm. Bring it.
Oh, man.
Look at this. Trayvon Walker, Jordan Davis, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt. It's just sick. How do these guys get just ridiculous, man?
Which is our way of saying, why didn't Michigan get a better matchup? We probably could have taken out whoever else, but not them.
Oh, we were taking out Cincinnati. If we would have lined up with who we should have, which was Cincinnati, we would have.
Exactly.
We would have taken them to the whooping shed.
Not only did we get screwed,
hang on a second. How did New England just jump back up?
I think, isn't that the pick they traded with Kansas City? So they traded with KC. KC was at 30, so I think that's just their switch down.
Oh, did I? I might have messed up here.
KC had 29 and 30, so they might have flipped 30 to New England and then gave.
Oh, maybe that's what I did.
29 to Green Bay.
Yep. That's what I did. All right. Oh my Lord, too many flip arounds. All right. 4 picks left, Oak. 4 picks left. You got New England, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Vikings. Oh, they just traded Shaq Mason in exchange for a 5th rounder. Okay. Thanks for that.
Interior lineman of some sort. Jameson Williams with the money chain on. The picture of him doing that stupid. I hate when the receivers get the first down. They do the clean the nose. Like, just, I don't even know what that's about, but I don't like it for whatever reason. But everybody does the swag. Oh, here's somebody with a Kool-Aid pitcher. Aiden Hutchin and Jameson.
You're going to go absolutely ballistic when you see this pick.
Kool-Aid. Cynthia Freeland.
That's my girl. What's she doing?
I think somebody's asking her if she's drinking that Kool-Aid. Oh, let me undo that retweet. I gotta give it the DKC tweet.
Oh, the Patriots are so going Patriots on this next pick too.
So Choppy, here's again. This is nitpicking sort of, but you put me on the spot, but I haven't looked at the tab. What was your second live on the clock, not 3 hours later pick?
It's on there.
You said Kyle Hamilton. Is what I remember.
I took Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, you went Williams. I went Hamilton.
Okay. And again, it's stupid, but it's not, because we've been getting caught up and talking and doing all this stuff. And like, what I really like is that moment when they're up and we gotta look at the boards and figure out who we're taking. And like you said, because of the trade up, and you were like, oh, Corey, you got to get. I knew I had a little time, but it's not the same when I've had buddies that'll come in like, you know, at the end of the round. Oh, my pick was so and so, but they weren't there live. It's like, no, that doesn't really work, because that was pressure, man. Like up to 12 with the pick is already in, like figure it out type of thing. So it's even more unfair than what the team is doing, because the team knows they're coming up and know who they want. We're sort of caught, but. That's the draft feeling. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you this personal thing, because I'm curious. Like when you're making picks for your fantasy or in general, are you more of a guy that's like the minute you come up, you're sort of like you already have it figured out, or are there times you come up and you're like still mulling through maybe, or do you ever change your mind, you know, on the clock? I'm curious, because you're kind of a no nonsense, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do guy, in my opinion.
So. Yeah, I mean, look, I've got my board and I've done all my work, and depending on let's put it this way: when I'm on the clock, I take time to evaluate what trends are going on too. So, you know, if I was like, okay, you know, I was really focusing on a wide receiver here or a whatever here, but then I see that, you know, there's a big run on, you know, tight ends, then I may kind of pivot. So I'm not the guy who's like locked, set in stone. Well, I'm taking this guy because this is the guy I love. You know, I'm evaluating what the other teams are doing and what's available and what's trending. Because I'm always, again, you know me, Oak, I'm always 3 steps ahead of the game. So I'm not just looking at that pick. I'm looking at when I come back around. So
yeah. Okay, that's about the answer I expected, but good stuff. I'm just curious, because I kind of always really know who I want, but there are times I sort of double think or need to look at something, but I pretty much know kind of certain guys I want when I want them based on what's going on. But like you said, other than you being smarter than everybody, I kind of agree with what you said. Now, as we're talking, I want to do this exercise, control find on our overall rankings. Strange.
Yeah, 99. Terrible. Absolutely. Just smartest guy in the room, idiot. I don't know. whatever. I don't even know what the hell.
Strange, 99th overall guard.
Yeah, 3rd round guard. We just took with the 20. They don't even. These guys are clapping. They have no idea who the guy even is.
Let's get that right. Not we. New England.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about
Matt
the fans
Patricia
who are clapping and they have no idea.
Matt Patricia just took Cole Strange off the board. Everybody. Since he's getting all this love of being Mr. I do everything, I'm the next guy. Like, yeah, that just happened.
Okri, I mean, look, I got heartburn, man. I don't know.
That is a flashback moment. That's oh my God, those are the type of things that we were trying to justify the last few years, and I'm more guilty than most. I get it, but yeah, that's terrible. I don't care what Cole Strange does.
Yeah, I know, man. You could have had the guy from Kentucky. Is it Kennard?
No, he's.
I mean, if you were set on guard, I mean, dude, I can't even defend any of that. I got 3 guards ranked higher than this guy. I can't do it. I can't defend idiocracy anymore, man. Who's the kid from Georgia, Slayer? Oh, geez. Look at Kansas City's. Kansas City ain't wasting any time, man. They just went and got your guy from Purdue. I just blinked and it just popped up.
But wait, what's going on here? What did New England? What pick was that?
That was 29. We're on 30 now, and they just took George.
Right.
And you were going to make me just say his last name, but I won't do it.
George Karlaftis. Come on, Choppy. It's easy. He's a good player. He kind of kept falling, and people were like, he's going to be a good value whenever he's taken, but he wasn't one of those explosive rushers that I had to have or a guy that I was in love with, but he could end up being like a nice pro, like a Kerrigan. You know what I mean? Which, again, I think they both went to Purdue, so that's kind of cheap, but it's that type of edge rusher with some bend and ability and a hustle guy, but not a guy that
he just didn't explode for me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, even if he's productive, he's not, getting your fan base excited, or he's just sort of like, he'll probably be a pretty good player.
Yep. Agreed.
Which, when you're a team like KC or some of these good teams, that's sort of sometimes all you're looking for is like, hey.
Yeah, you don't need someone to win a game. You just need someone to be part of the process, right? And that's what they got. So you don't need flash. You just want someone here to.
The bigger swing was Boye Mafe at that point, but Karlaftis probably the better player as well as a more sure thing, for sure.
Yep.
So we got Cincy, and then what? Vikings ended out?
Yeah, Bengals and Vikings, man.
To me, the Bengals, all the interior people are gone. Like, I was going to give them Linderbaum or Green or...
They're going to take the kid from CMU.
If I were them, what about our guy Trey McBride possibly getting into round 1? I mean... I don't know they need a tight end, but I know that Uzama left, and they don't really have a dynamic playmaker there. They already got all the wide receivers, running back, quarterback. They already invested a lot in the O-line, like Trey McBride or let me look at my other board. Got Andrew Booth Jr. They could definitely use help at corner. Nakobe Dean, I'm sure. They just drafted a lot of linebackers, so that's off the board sort of for me. Lewisine would next to Bates would be kind of crazy, but let's keep those safeties out there.
I was thinking Dax Hill.
That's another thing I would be freaking out about right now. So I'm gonna go with Andrew Booth Jr. here to the Bengals is my guess.
Yeah. I'm taking Hill. I think they're going Hill. I think they're going safety.
Thing is though, Bates is he's kind of.
I know they got Bates. I know, man. He's a animal, but Dude, can you imagine
We could have got Hutch and Dak basically if he didn't go here, which is another at least scenario just to either write down or put in the memory banks, because that would have been nice too. Not saying I like it better than what we got. I'm just saying putting the combo meals together. Everyone's Dax Hill's going to go top 15. He's going to go in the early 20s. Well, he didn't.
Yep, I didn't expect him to fall, but. Let's see. I'm just trying to pull up a couple things here. Trying to get a little, since they did trade for Hayden, or they signed Hayden Hurst, and they got Drew Sample too. So I know they're like them. What about O-line? They were so injured, but really none of those guys are there. Man, I know they love Bates and Bell.
But we are at 4-6, Choppy, and let me look at my short board here, which is just sort of like the main. We got Dax Hill still out there if he doesn't go. Nakobe Dean, Lewis Cine. We got Petrie. We got David Ajabo. We've got Travis Jones. We've got Drake Jackson, who they've said to be liking. We've got your boy Trey McBride. We got Kyler Gordon if you want a corner. Roger McCreary, who I like. Sam Howell if you want to get crazy. Malik Willis is still out. I'm already at 46 just with those names tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
And I haven't even refreshed the board. I got to refresh about 32 spots. So there's going to be another 10 to 15 names on that list that we're going to be cool with too. That are all going to be at least maybe available. I'm feeling good, real good.
Yep, I'm feeling real good too, man. If you told me we were going to grab those two guys in the first and still be able to take, like a Nakobe Dean, Petrie, someone like that at 46.
I'm telling you, I get that maybe if the quarterback is that's we don't need it, but it might just be that big swing future. But I'm telling you that if they continue to not do that and just stack another player based on what they already got, I may lose my mind if Nakobe Dean is there at 46. I may lose my mind if Petrie is there, because I feel like Petrie is a Dax Hill quality player. He plays all over the field. You can move him all around. He's a great kid. That may be my crush, because as much as I like Lewis Cine and Brisker, I saw another thing with Petrie this week, and I was like, that's the kind of guy I want.
Yeah. It's going to be funny how it all plays out, man. But no matter what they do now, knowing that we still got that second round pick, even though we had, we gave up a second round pick to get, dude, I just can't even, my brain still doesn't even work on how we made this happen.
No.
Dude, it's great. I think this is good stuff. I'm looking safety linebacker right there, man. I love it. Give me the best safety linebacker in that spot.
Yeah. I just think
all defense.
We went so big with those first two, not only just names, but impact players that, again, I used to, and maybe I still do sort of, I can find receivers later, but not Jameson Williams, I can't.
But hey, listen, real quick, I want to weigh in, Oak. This has been a hell of a first round. Minnesota's on the clock. I'm getting the cue here that the pick is in. So we're wrapping it up here. It's been 3.5 amazing hours. I just want to say thanks, buddy. This is such a good time. It's a lot of work. I know more work that you've put in, leading up to this draft in the past. With the boards and the spreadsheets and all that stuff. Just so happy that I was able to get back in line and be online with you tonight to do this. Two buddies just having a great time during the draft. Hearing gut reactions from everything. Just a great night. Loving what the Lions did, and just super happy to be doing this with such a great bud. So appreciate you pushing me to do this and getting me on board, and hoping that we get some great podcast content out of this, and something that we can come back to and laugh and have a good time on later on. So, but cheers to round one, buddy. It's over here in about 3 minutes. It's
been incredible, and the most fun thing, I appreciate you saying that, is more just I twisted your arm for months and for a while to do the pod. I said, it's just two guys talking ball. It'll be fun. And you didn't want to do it, and you did it, and you've had fun coming on the show. I felt the same with this, you know. You got your kids, you got your sports, you got this. You had a lot of personal and family stuff going on, and I was just like, just dive in for a day or two and experience it, but also, like, let's go for it, you know, and enjoy it and not make excuses. And I think that you got to feel that for these few hours of just, you could have been sitting around watching a TV show, or, oh yeah, I kept up on the draft, Oakrey, I had it on in the background while you're doing some work emails, but, you know, just carving out enough time for it and saying, hey, I enjoy this, you know, is a thing that I think we should do, you know, when we can, as well as when it goes well and it's fun, be like, hey, I'll make time for that next year. Or, like you said, thanks for including me and for pushing me and for doing it. And it's just two guys that love ball and enjoy the Lions and want our team to win, and made time to do this for a few hours of our life. Like, what do we do tomorrow? We go back to work. We go back to our normal, but tomorrow night too, we get to dive into this great stuff and see what our team does. So I appreciate you, man, and I thank you for doing it, as well as, yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, it's been crazy. Like, this audio, when we save it, is going to be something that can be turned on 20 years from now and be like, remember that day? Wow. Like, that's the greatest part about the audio recording, as well as the real reactions, what are we saying? Like, it's priceless in my opinion. You know, not only for this kind of stuff, but I've been trying to tell my family, like, if you get a chance to capture those moments on tape or on photos or in your voice, there's nothing like hearing your voice 20 years later of what was happening at that moment. It's pretty cool stuff. Time capsule, man, for sure. So Lions this may be the day we look back on. That's when it changed. That's when it got right. It could happen. That's sort of the feeling I have right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we're winning the Super Bowl and Aiden Hutchinson is on that team and Williams is on that team, and there's just going to be so much joy and happiness when the Packers didn't take any offense, and we're happy because they've been vanquished. We'll get to look back and joke about how New England, took Cole Strange and nobody knew who he was, or still doesn't know who he is. And, look, it's going to be great, man. I'm so happy for it. And I'm not going to lie, the week was looking pretty dicey. As I had the kidney stones come up and ended up going to the hospital and having surgery. And I'm just like, dude, I don't even want to send this text message that I'm in the hospital right now getting prepped for surgery, because, it made this whole thing a little bit in question. But, luckily I was able to get checked out and get handled, be okay. And, I'm not going to lie, sitting upright in a chair for this long has been a little painful, but guess what? It's been worth it every minute. And hearing those initial reactions and just calling this draft live has been fantastic. So, and speaking of live here, spoiler alert, sorry I talked over the commish there, but the Vikings just took your boy Lewis Seen. So I think that's who we kind of had targeted for the Lions to take, and the Vikings, fell right in and did it. So.
Yeah, I seen that when that went down. See what I did there? That disappoints me, but it also it doesn't really matter, because we made our bet a long time ago for our team, and that's what I'm most concerned about. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're healthy. I'm used to sort of being like, hey, it's gonna be great, and then hey, I can't do it or go for whatever reason. Like, it happened before, it'll happen again. But you coming through is big time, and like you say, I'm hoping that we can figure out how to mix this up. I'm hoping that we can, I tried to reach out to some of the other guys that are on Koolaid, so, we'll have to see if we can coordinate kind of a 20, 30-minute roundtable at some point to just sort of recap. But yeah, this marathon talking, and I think there's going to be a lot of fun takes and a lot of good things to listen to. We'll figure out how to get it out to the people. But yeah, man, just absolutely round one choppy. I think it's only fitting.
Drink it in, man.
Give me a double-sided cornbread.
Oh, you got to have it, right?
Cornbread!
So, cool, man. Well, like I say, take care of yourself, I guess. We'll go ahead and we'll sign off here for the Koolaid Cast Marathon Day 1, 2022. NFL Draft, where the Detroit Lions selected at number 2 overall Aiden Hutchinson, a.k.a. Hutch. And then they moved up from 32 to pick 12 to take the best playmaker in the draft. He's fast. He's silky. He's a ball player. And that's wide receiver Jameson Williams from Alabama. Let's go.